Good afternoon, black powder shooters. This is Tim Davis coming to you from the Early American Arms channel. And today, as you can see, I've got a little bit bigger piece of steel than I normally have on my videos. Most of my videos are related to black powder percussion revolvers. Today we're going to talk about a percussion weapon, but the percussion weapon we're going to be talking about today is the 1863 Sharps Cavalry Carbine. This is a very fine example. This one, matter of fact, it's a reproduction. It was made in 1978, imported by Style, and made by IAB Marciano. I purchased this particular weapon back in April for a pretty reasonable price. When I got it, it was in very, very good shape, as you can see. I don't think it had been handled much or shot much at all, because of the very good shape it was in for being built as many years ago as it was. We'll talk a little bit about the Sharps itself. The Sharps Cavalry Carbine, both models 1859 and 1863, was the most popular percussion carbine used during the Civil War. There was one major distinguishable difference, other than serial numbers, between the 1863 and the 1859. 1859 Sharps had a patch box in the butt plate. And honestly, many 1863s did also. It was not until later in production, with the C prefix serial numbers, did they quit installing the patch box on the carbines, mainly to speed up production. Wasn't needed on the battlefield, and it made wartime production go a lot faster. Many 1859 or 59 Sharps that are survived today, you will see without the patch box. And a lot of this was due to if they were damaged on the battlefield and maybe with a broken stock and sent back to the armorer for refurbishing to be put back into use. When they replaced the stock on it, they didn't put the patch box on it. Again, faster turnaround to get them back on the battlefield. It wasn't really a piece of equipment that was needed on the battlefield. It was becoming very obsolete. It's a very popular carbine, used mainly by Union forces and Confederate forces if they could get their hands on them. The Confederates liked them so well that they made their own copy called the Robertson Sharps. It had brass furniture on it. Hammer profile was a little different. Didn't have the adjustable sight on it like the Christian Sharps model. Had a fixed sight, but it was a pretty good weapon to be produced in the South at that time. 1859s, the early models would have had brass barrel bands, brass patch boxes, and brass butt plates, but as production continued, that was replaced with iron furniture. This particular example, made by IAB, fires a 54 caliber paper cartridge, rolled paper cartridge. This particular cartridge has a Richmond's Sharps projectile in it, and it's lubed, and we're loaded with 65 grains of 2F powder, topped by a filler of cream of wheat. This is the round we'll be test firing here in a short time after I make this video to see how it shoots. As I said, I bought this back in April and took it out to test fire it. And after about 3 or 4 shots, because the gas leakage in the breech block, which is not IAB, all of them do it, from original Sharps to Petrosolid to Chiappa to Army Sport to IAB. It's because of the design of the weapon. They have excess gas leakage. That causes the block to foul a lot faster, and before long, after a few shots, your breech block's locked and you can't open it to reload it. That happened to me after about 3 shots or so. The breech block locked up, couldn't get it down, had to soak it and black powder solvent and let it sit for about a day before it would open up. So that wasn't very convenient to shoot. So what I did some research, found out about a gentleman by the name of Larry Fleece that works on competition carbines for the North-South Skirmish Association. He's a fellow shooter himself, and he's developed a modification for these guns that seals the breech block and can basically, with very little maintenance, can shoot it just about all day without having to break it down and without the block seizing up. And what he does is square up the block, rework the block, put a bronze Amco pressure plate in the block, replaces the steel one that was in there before, backs it up with an O-ring to help it float and seal. He redoes the chamber to make the chamber more uniform, to take the bullets and seal better. As I said, he trues up the block. On this particular one, he also replaced the and reworked the toggle that connects the lever and the block, the screw that holds the takedown pin in place, and puts a bronze Amco nipple on the block. So when you get this back, this thing is just smooth as butter. I mean, the action in it is perfect. And can't say enough good about Larry. He's a very nice gentleman, a very good communicator, very cordial. He calls you before he gets started on it and tells you what all needs to be done and gives you a price before he starts. When he sends it back to you, he has some extra O-rings in there and a complete typed about 4-page set of instructions. He types up letting you know how to maintain the weapon, how to make sure it's good and clean, some load advice on it to make it shoot as accurate as it can, and very great to do business with. Talk a little bit about this particular reproduction. You hear a lot of not so good reviews on the IAB Sharps. A lot of people say IAB stands for not always, it's always broke. Honestly, I think most of the trouble lies with the cartridge versions of the IAB Sharps. They have some chamber issues, that the chambers are not uniform and hard to get a accurate performance out of them with cartridges. Their triggers, their set triggers. I know I experienced this personally with myself with an IAB Sharps I once owned. The set triggers aren't made very well, and they do break and malfunction. But from the percussion end, you see a lot of people out there say, the percussion guns are really actually a pretty good gun. And what I've noticed with this one, I've had 2 of these. I've had a actual plains model with the longer barrel on it, very well made, shot very accurately, no issues with the performance of it. This particular gun, the fit wood and metal finish is great. It's got a gorgeous piece of walnut on it. The case hardening is just absolutely beautiful on it. And with this upgrade done by Larry Fleece, it's now a competition type rifle, a gun. Many of the guys that shoot in North-South Skirmish Association shoot the IABs and do just fine with them. Have a lot of people with a lot of very positive words to say about them. So I'm very happy with it. And here we're going to go outside and shoot it here in a little while and see how this new modification performs. I just got this back this week. I haven't had a chance to shoot it yet, but had it nice and clean and was in here in the house and thought, well, I'll just do a overview video of it before I go out and shoot it. Hopefully by next week, I've got this thing, dialed in to where I want, and we'll do a shooting video on it, show everybody how it performs. But for right now, I really appreciate you watching the video. If you like it, hit like. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot of other videos on black powder revolvers, black powder weapons, and classic weapons are my passion. I enjoy making these videos, and sharing these weapons with you. But like I said, if you like the video, please hit like, please subscribe, leave me a comment, and I really appreciate it. But for right now, keep your powder dry, enjoy your shooting, and again, thanks very much for watching.